Hey kids, this is Kalir,
And it's Tafari.
and this is what I'm gonna start doing today. I figure starting everything of Let's Play Transistor with like 5 minutes of menu, probably not the best idea in the world.
Yeah, well, it fits the theme of setting up your loadout and making sure everything is done properly is an integral part of the game, so I can't really see it. So how's everybody out there in LP land doing? I haven't been on one of these in a while.
Things are going pretty well. It feels like Beat is one of the most important LPers ever, which is, I completely support this.
He is prolific, I suppose. I don't want to get his ego up too much because raging undead.
Well, I don't know.
Where are we at in this though? That's
right now, explosion. With these blocks, only certain attacks can punch through them. Usually you'll have at least one on hand. But here, though, my best result is to set down a packet and then hit it with Get at close range a couple times. It's kind of stupid and ineffectual, but oh well.
I was gonna say, that seemed horrifically slow.
Yeah, because most people are like, oh yeah, I have, like, Crash or Breach or something, and I'll just hit the wall.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I just crashed right through this, pop, 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 pop. He's got a point.
Haha!
Oh man, definitely not breaking the fourth wall there.
There you go.
Oh god.
I got dodges. Everything is fine.
What? No.
Where are we gonna get our flatbreads now?
Oh no.
Wait, I remember this game too much.
I was gonna say you could at least try to get one last sea monster. That reminds me of, goodness gracious, what I do for a living.
What's that you do for a living then?
What I do for a living involves people getting very upset with me for inaccurate computer readouts of when things are going to arrive. And so, just seeing that particular terminal just makes me go, oh no.
Well, that's if people can't deal with things maybe being slightly inaccurate, that's their deal. Anyway, this is a new not persona, process type. I don't know why I know exactly why I'm thinking.
I know exactly why, because
anyway, this thing, there's a couple different variations. Each one has their own shared status. This one is stealthy, so it will only show up when it's attacking, which is a pain in the ass for this combo. There's a couple other variants, and when they travel together in groups, the shared status will multiply among them. So if you have one of each status in the same area, they're all terrifying.
Yeah, these guys are the final big end-game enemy that you run into. They are they are basically the requiring you to use the culmination of everything that you learned in the game to finally be able to take out some stuff that can do some serious damage to you, because those little dealy boppers that they're throwing out there, they'll explode in your face.
Yeah, those things hurt.
They're called what? Haircuts?
They're haircuts.
Philosopher's name.
I'm trying to like yo-yo the haircut over to the packet so I can explode both of them at the guy, because if the haircuts explode close enough to the enemy, then they'll do that level of damage except to them.
Yeah, they're basically a packet, but one that's aggressive towards you as well.
But it's not exactly working out so well, so let's see if we can't...
I was gonna say, explain what you're doing here.
Basically, I'm trying to set up packets, and then I'm using Get to pull the packets and everything else into one area so they can all explode. Which would work really well if he didn't have Stealthy, but he does. So he's just like, oh, I didn't notice that because I'm masked. This vexes me.
See what I thought you were going to do, judging from secret pre-video highlights, where I thought you were going to be having Call equipped, and I thought you were going to be playing the game where you would knock them off far into space and then drag them back down into further pain.
I think I will probably be trying that later on. Right now, though, I want to try something a little weirder, and it didn't quite work. Oh, also I have Cole equipped as a passive, because I don't know.
Because bigger explosions?
Because I feel like football tackles. Anyway, I'm just gonna throw a whole bunch of packets everywhere, because eventually one of them's got to explode in the right manner.
Yeah, that's the problem with relying on using packets as a primary offensive method, because I tried using it for a while, but the way that anyone that plays the game for a significant period of time will probably realize that things don't always work out the way it's going to when you're planning out the events that are going to happen.
Right.
And I ran into entirely too many circumstances where my packets would get launched off in some direction, not anticipated.
Right.
And it's basically end up being a useless.
And Get already has its own problems in that one, because if you use Get, then it won't track where you're actually pulling the enemies to if it hits, so it's just going to... Anytime you use it will throw off everything, unless you specifically account for that and be like, now I'm going to drop 5 attacks in this space that has no enemies, because it will have enemies. Anyway, I think this will work.
Yeah, I also was not the biggest fan
I was wrong.
Planning out incredibly long methodical turns. A lot of the way that I ended up playing was, I did kind of end up relying on some overpowered combos, but I really enjoyed the fact that they actually let you play the game with more of an action focus instead of the turn-based focus that you get by playing something like this.
Okay, I think this will work. Because I set that packet to blow up, then I go over here, set up another packet, so when the first one blows up, it'll set off the other one. Or at least that was the idea.
I was gonna say, this seems like somebody deliberately set this up for you just to mess with you.
Because I really like, yeah, if you want to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna put, Crash, Mask, then Void, then Cold, and hey, I one-shot a thing. If you want to do that, that's your thing. I like trying for the weird stuff like making a death Katamari or something. Even if it's not actually very effective.
One that shrinks them down and carries them along with it for... But yeah, at this point, I think when I get to a certain point in a game, I really want to see how the storyline's going to conclude.
Mm-hmm.
And I will generally quit... I will generally make a beeline for the ending, and around the time that these guys started showing up was that point in this game for me. So right. I was definitely abusing a whole lot of Mask, Crash, Cull, after applying a couple stacks of of the debuffs to them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like, yeah, at least at this point I've gotten my fill of how the game operates. I just really want to see the conclusion to the story.
Right, which I can completely understand and respect. But honestly, this game just has, it's got an excellent story. That much I do not ever contest. But it's also got a lot of excellent gameplay to it. And I'm just going to try to make this actually work. I don't want to have to game over again because I made a stupid combo again.
Yeah, and it's not even, I'm not even trying to say that the combination system doesn't work. I also knew that I was going to be playing it again. I knew that I was going to be doing a replay.
So close. Did you see that? It's got 6 health.
Oh my gosh! Hey, you know what? At least you're not having to deal with one of the ones that also makes it regenerate health.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I don't want to have to deal with that with this. I want to get my setup of load and bounce, and I think ping with purge equipped, and just.
This is one of those times where I want to reach into the video and say, hey, do something completely different.
I love completely different. I'm probably going to change out a bunch of these once we get to the next point. Look at that city that doesn't exist.
Delirious Transistor is I go back and forth on whether or not I like it, because it feels just a teensy bit hokey, but at the same time.
Well, I don't know. I kind of see where you're coming from. I feel like they were trying to call back the whole thing of Joss and Bog back in Bastion, which was great.
Perhaps a little bit.
But, oh well. Thematically, it kind of makes sense. Hey, that giant process is going to be lagging the transistor, so he's not going to be at full functionality, but I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
and it also and it allows for like like the scene where like where a character is intoxicated talking to another character. It allows them to kind of fit that kind of like noir trope into this.
mhm.
Bike deserves some kind of reward. Not to get wiped out like all his bike friends.
Bike friends.
Bike.
That's the next game from Supergiant.
Bike friends. I support this idea. Okay, what all are we changing here? First off, no, just uninstall everything.
You don't have on that miserable limiter that makes it so that everything breaks when you take it off.
No, I like having fun. You might have noticed.
What? No, never. Get out of town.
Like I will probably attempt to do a 10 limiter run. I just won't enjoy it as much as I would a Bastion 10 idle run.
Yeah, like when I did mine, I did it around the middle of the game on my second playthrough, and while it was very fun, but you're right, it doesn't quite have the same feel, and because the challenge rooms in this game were so fundamentally different from the way they were in Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
You just I don't know, like.
I don't know. I like the challenge rooms in this one.
I absolutely. That's what I was going to say. That I feel snooty by saying that. Oh well, they're not the same, because they weren't the same. That was the kind of the whole point.
Yeah. Okay, so this is basically what I do with my usual loadout in when I just play it, and I'm just like, hey, this is what I want to do.
Yikes.
Bounce stuff around, blow stuff up.
I'm not gonna be doing this. Like, you can fight all of the young ladies here if you want.
Absolutely can.
Oh, you totally can fight all these guys if you want to. I just don't particularly feel like it.
Bye, ladies.
I think I made the mistake of doing it because I went through there and did not survive.
Right.
I think I reloaded that save file pretty fast.
Okay, so I know there's 2 encounters coming up. This one here, first that guy. But there's one coming up that's really interesting, I find, because, well, there's that. Just immediately, hi, you're standing next to the beefiest enemy in the game, try not to die. But it's only the one guy, so if you're actually prepared for this, like, if you come into this with that whole mask, void, cold combo, you're fine.
Yeah, and it is the cheesiest. It is a really cheesy combo.
But, that's because it's just particularly well suited to that, because that doesn't need range or positioning, and it works best against solo enemies. Here, though, it's like I'm set up with my field exploding combo, so let's see how much damage I can do to this guy.
I was gonna say, how did you end up? Did you end up getting the achievement for doing like 2,048 damage in one hit?
I went to the training room for that, and I did actually use my usual thing of setting up a bunch of packets and throwing a bounce into them and just letting things explode everywhere.
That's cool. That's cool because I didn't think that the packets would stack like that. That's actually really neat and good to know for people that are trying to accomplish it in a less cheesy manner.
If you really need to do that, yes, you can just dump like 8 packets down.
Oh, that's fine. It's totally fine. There's no just about it.
Alright, so that encounter was one that my build is not particularly suited for, but it works. This encounter here is one that my build is very suited for. Taking pictures of me.
I was gonna say, isn't this also another one that you can skip?
Yes. I never do. I value my privacy. Get out of here.
See,
no paparazzi.
I love that they're so fascinated by the photo, and they also haven't completely processed it yet either. Unlike everything else around it.
Yeah, that never really gets answered. It's just, this is just something they want to find out about. But yeah, with this, I have my dog running around taking care of things. I have me setting up bombs and then throwing a bounce so I can trigger all of them. This encounter is over before it begins. I mean, barring cells, but usually I have something that can actually handle those.
Yeah, I mean, I guess worst case scenario, you can just. Cause it doesn't look like you're using things to take forever.
Yeah, it's. Like, I think if I had another thing equipped here, it would be probably either ping or get. Maybe not get, but definitely ping, because that way it would just be... I have it equipped to my dog, I don't even care, but with ping, I can just be like, oh, wait,
Speedy dog!
do you even read?
What?
You are mean.
Whoa, what? I've never seen that. What?
Yeah, if you do so much damage on the preview that you go over their max health or something, it'll just be like, why are you being such a jerk?
Oh my gosh, I have never seen that.
So yeah,
You learn something new about the game every day.
overkill. It's what's for dinner.
You know, last time we were
Oh,
here,
that is phenomenal.
I knew it could be worse. By a lot. I just wasn't quite sure how. Comfort in knowing.
It's okay, we have explosions. It's like a universal medicine if your problem is, you know, all your atoms are still connected.
Mood lighting.
You know, one of the things I did appreciate was that it gave you the opportunity to linger on those scenes for as long as you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I got the feeling that this is one of the ones that you were talking about earlier.
Terminal thinks you're in charge.
Yay, we have root access, because...
Oh man, fantastic!
Okay,
What are we gonna do with it?
we're gonna learn about... yeah, what's the status report of the city?
99% of the town. Some things you don't want to know.
We learned a thing.
Things are real bad.
Yeah, this is,
Here's Tom with the weather.
Anything
no, there's no Tom, and there's also no weather. Maybe we should do something about that, though.
Didn't you set the weather earlier in the game?
I tried voting on the weather, but other people like, we're gonna vote for this, and they're just like, I don't know. I want to vote for...
This isn't a vote.
Oh, never mind.
It's a choice.
We actually do get to control the weather. We are a high-level druid now.
Oh man, snow.
No. We gotta make this set up for the system, the setting.
You read my mind.
Do you remember?
Come on,
Like, get some rain to cover our tracks?
You gotta beat it.
video clear.
Alright, we're done here. This has been Let's Play Transistor, and later.
Alright, I'll totally forgive you to end on that scene. Goodbye.